Okay, how's it going, everyone? So we're going to read some more Stalin today. This is Economic Terrorism and the Labor Movement, March 30th, 1908. So this is from Works, Volume 2. So we'll just go ahead and get into this. Yeah, let's go ahead. The workers' struggle does not always and everywhere assume the same form. There is a time when, in fighting their employers, the workers smash machines and set fires to factories. Machines are the cause of poverty. The factory is the seat of oppression. Therefore, smash and burn them, said the workers at that time. That was the period of unorganized, anarchist, rebel conflicts. We know also of other cases where the workers, disillusioned with incendiarism and destruction, adopted more violent forms, killing directors, managers, foremen, etc. It is impossible to destroy all the machines and all the factories, said the workers at that time. And besides, it is not in the workers' interest to do so, but it is always possible to frighten the managers and knock the starch out of them by means of terrorism. Therefore, beat them up, terrify them. This was the period of individual terroristic conflicts, stemming from the economic struggle. The labor movement sharply condemned both these forms of struggle and made them a thing of the past. This is understandable. There is no doubt that the factory is indeed the seat of exploitation of the workers, and the machine still helps the bourgeoisie to extend the exploitation. But this does not mean that the machine and the factory are in themselves the cause of poverty. On the contrary, it is precisely the factory and the machine that will enable the proletariat to break the chains of slavery, abolish poverty, and vanquish all oppression. All that is needed is that the factories and machines be transformed from the private property of individual capitalists into the public property of the people. On the other hand, what would our lives become if we set to work to destroy and burn the machines, factories, and railways? It would be like living in a dreary desert, and the workers would be the first to lose their bread. Clearly, we must not smash up the machines and factories, but gain possession of them, when that becomes possible, if we are indeed striving to abolish poverty. That is why the labor movement rejects anarchist rebel conflicts. There is no doubt that economic terrorism also has some apparent, quote, justification insofar as it is resorted to in order to intimidate the bourgeoisie. But what is the use of this intimidation if it is transient and fleeting? That it can only be transient is clear from the one fact alone that it is impossible to resort to economic terrorism always and everywhere. That is the first point. The second point is, of what use to us is the fleeting fear of the bourgeoisie and the concessions this fear may wring from it, if we have not behind us a powerful mass workers' organization, which will always be ready to fight for the workers' demands and be capable of retaining the concessions we have won. Indeed, facts tell us convincingly that economic terrorism kills the desire for such an organization, robs the workers of the urge to unite and come out independently, since they have terrorist heroes who are able to act for them. Should we cultivate the spirit of independent action among the workers? Should we cultivate the desire for unity among the workers? Of course we should. But can we resort to economic terrorism if it kills the desire for both among the workers? No, comrades. It is against our principles to terrorize the bourgeoisie by means of individual, stealthy acts of violence. Let us leave such deeds to the notorious terrorist elements. We must come out openly against the bourgeoisie. We must keep it in a state of fear all the time, until final victory is achieved. And for this, we need not economic terrorism, but a strong mass organization which will be capable of leading the workers into the struggle. That is why the labor movement rejects economic terrorism. In view of what has been said above, the resolution recently adopted by the strikers at Mersoyev's against incendiarism and the economic assassination is of special interest. In this resolution, the Joint Commission of the 1,500 men at Mersoyev's, after mentioning the setting fire to a boiler room in Balakany and the assassination of a manager on economic grounds, Sirakani, declares that it is protest against such methods of struggle as assassination and incendiarism. By this, the men at Mersoyev's announced their final rupture with the old terrorist rebel tendencies. By this, they resolutely took the path of the true labor movement. We greet the comrades at Mersoyevsk and call upon all the workers to take the path of the proletarian mass movement as resolutely as they have done. Okay, yeah, so this is Economic Terrorism and the Labor Movement by Stalin. This is in 1908. Well, if you want to follow me online, it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. All of these are Marxist. And so y'all have a great day. Y'all follow me on there. Y'all have a great day, and tadara goi.